Title: At the party I funded, my sister got a $450,000 historic home. Start: I got a crusty blender. I stood quietly. Then Bad said, "You have money. Your sister needs security." I shut it all down. I knew something was wrong the moment the room went quiet. Not respectfully quiet, guilty quiet. The kind that comes right before someone hands you an insult disguised as a gift. The party was my idea, my money, my planning, my father's 65th birthday, polished to perfection because I wanted, foolishly, to feel like family again. I didn't expect applause. I didn't expect gratitude. I just didn't expect betrayal to be wrapped in silver paper and handed to me with a smile. My sister opened her gift first, the deed to a $450,000 restored historic home near the river. Dad said, "Security matters." Everyone clapped like they were watching a royal coronation. Then my turn came. A blender. Old, stained, still smelling faintly of burnt plastic. I laughed once, a sharp, humorless sound. And Dad said, "You have money. Your sister needs security." That was the moment something in me snapped. Quietly, cleanly, like a lock turning. I used to think love was measured by effort, by showing up, by paying bills no one thanked me for, by answering phone calls at 1 a.m. because my sister needed help again. She was the golden one, creative, sensitive, drifting like a balloon someone else had to keep tethered. I was the anchor, heavy, reliable, overlooked. Growing up, Dad always said, "She needs more from me than you do." I thought that meant he trusted me. I didn't realize it meant he expected me to keep sacrificing. I funded their emergencies, their dreams, their mistakes. They called it support. I called it family. Turns out, it was just extraction. 3 weeks before the party, I saw the first warning sign. A realtor emailed me by mistake. Documents with my father's signature, proof of funds, closing details. My name wasn't anywhere. My father's retirement account had been drained. The same account I had been contributing to for years to make sure he'd be safe. And then I saw my sister's name on the buyer line. A historic home, bought with money I earned. The email felt like a punch, the kind that knocks the wind out of your lungs and replaces it with clarity. That was the moment my emotions shifted. Grief turned to calculation. Loss turned to strategy. Silence turned into my sharpest weapon. I spent the next 19 days moving like a ghost through their lives. No confrontation, no warning, just preparation. First, I gathered proof, transfers, forged authorizations, emails, all legal documents tied to my contributions. Not a single signature was mine, which made it even better. Second, I met with a lawyer, a quiet one, efficient, not interested in the drama, only in results. We found the pressure points: misuse of my funds, unauthorized withdrawals, tax fraud disguised as gifts, and a real estate purchase built on financial deception. Every step they took to hide this house placed them deeper in my hands. I set the trap. All I needed was the right moment to pull the string. The party was perfect for what I had planned. A room full of witnesses, phones recording, smiles plastered across faces that would soon collapse. When Dad handed my sister the deed, I watched her eyes glitter. Not with gratitude, with triumph. They thought they'd gotten away with it, and that was the beautiful part. I waited until dessert, until everyone was comfortable, satisfied, unaware. Then I stood, quietly, and said, "I have a gift too." I handed Dad a folder, copies of the documents they never thought I'd see.
He frowned. My sister went pale. I spoke calmly, almost softly. "I know where the money came from. You didn't ask permission. You forged access. The house isn't yours. It never was." I watched their expressions crumble in slow motion. Then I delivered the final strike. "I've already filed the claim. The house is frozen under investigation. The IRS has the paperwork, and every transfer involving my account is being reversed." My sister swayed. My father grabbed the table. Silence thickened the air. The guests stared like they were watching a car crash in real time. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. Power doesn't shout. It whispers. Dad tried to speak first, a wobbling attempt at authority. "You're overreacting." "No," I said. "I'm correcting." My sister lunged toward me, furious, desperate. "You can't do this. It's mine." "It was bought with my money," I replied, "and fraud has consequences." The room shifted. People stepped back from her. The smell of fear is unmistakable. Sharp, metallic, cold. My lawyer walked in right on cue. I had asked him to arrive at 9 p.m. He handed them official notices. Their faces collapsed completely. Dad whispered, "We're family." I looked at him, really looked at him, and felt nothing. "You made that choice," I said, "and so did I." The investigation moved quickly. The house was seized, then sold. Every cent returned to my account with interest. My father had to rebuild his retirement from scratch, legally this time. My sister moved into a tiny apartment she could actually afford. They both tried to apologize. I listened, but I didn't let them back in. Betrayal is a door that only closes once. Now my silence is my boundary, my peace, my revenge. I no longer fund their chaos. I no longer shrink to make them comfortable. I no longer mistake sacrifice for love. And whenever someone asks why I cut them off, I smile and say, because I finally realized I'm not the supporting character in their story. I shut it all down, and I've never felt lighter.